Number three, let's face it, as time goes on from when we've done something, our memories fade a bit. And I really never want to forget this. I never want to forget my son's development. I never want to forget those key moments for my spouse, Julie, right? There are so many good things that are happening in our lives that hopefully I can have those to share years and years and years later. And hopefully they have them, because we're not all going to be here. I mean, that's the reality of mortality, right? We're not always going to be here, so let's share those things that we have when we have them. And then the fourth is, I hope that somebody sees just a small part of this and is inspired to come up with their own challenge, their own goal, their own stretch, right? Like, come outside of your comfort zone and really push yourself in a different direction, a new direction, or find that new peak, right? Not everything has to be Everest, not everything has to be a moonshot, but what is that incremental, marginal gain? What is that stretch goal for you? So hopefully you can see just a regular, average guy pull something off and then motivate you to try something. And that's the key, is this 50-day challenge thing. I'm not the first. I know there's one, and I believe his name is the Iron Cowboy. I'll subtitle the actual name there. He attempted to complete 50 Ironman distance triathlons in 50 days in 50 states. I believe it was 50 days, but it was definitely in 50 states, and there was an entire team that was with him, I believe extended family, that whole relationship. So again, maybe the next person will see some bit of this, or they'll hear of, did you know that person did X, Y, or Z? And that will continue that just enough hope. And then one thing that, and I touched on this a little bit ago, was outside of the 50-50 challenge, but just from the general 50 videos, 50 plus videos, because again, there'll be some build up, there'll be some 50 videos, one for each state, one for each ride. There'll be some outtakes, right? There'll be a lot of content that this generates. But then the cycling community itself, from the outside, it can appear to be a closed, unwelcoming society. And I know that firsthand, because when I first started, and this is a little more than 20 years ago now, my father-in-law introduced me to cycling. Like, it's not that I haven't ridden a bicycle before, but riding a bicycle to be competitive, riding a bicycle to push your limits, riding a bicycle to be faster, right? Riding your bicycle to race. That was something that he introduced me to, and I was quickly bitten by the bug. But unless you have somebody that can enter you into that world, it could be difficult for an outsider to just pick it up and start going. I mean, just the jargon itself, right? Walking into a bike shop is not as familiar as somebody walking into a car dealership, right? Like, cars are part of our embedded DNA as a culture in the United States, but bicycles are not. So you walk in there, and not only does the way that you carry yourself, your demeanor, your pronunciation, right? Like, some of those things, the shop, the people in the community, they pick up on that, and they know if you're a beginner, a novice, an amateur, or a grizzly old veteran, or as we're now known in my age category as masters, right? Like, you've been doing it long enough, you know the ins and outs. And that's unfortunate, because there are so many great people that I have met and been exposed to because of cycling. And through all of our family moves, the cycling community is the first one that we cracked into when we moved to a new location. And it always made those transitions easier, right? 'Cause you immediately had someone that could tell you what the local cultures or customs were, where this was, where that was, the best this place, the best that place, where to avoid, what not to get, right? Those sorts of things. So there's an entire society within the cycling community, the bike shops, the clubs and groups, the races and rides. We touched on the jargon. It's also, right now, even more so, cost prohibitive, right? Just bicycles, bicycling components, the apparel, the safety equipment, the training aids, right? It's not as convenient as just buying a pair of sneakers and some jogging shorts, let's be honest. So there's a big financial commitment as well, and if you can overcome that, great. If you have made that financial investment but you're not reaping the joys and the benefits of that social component, then hopefully these videos can help you figure out how to find a group ride, how to find your way into a friend of a friend of a friend, that Kevin Bacon entry model. And then one of the last things is, inside the cycling community, whether it's online or offline, social, or whatever media type that you have, there are opinions inside the cycling community that are polarizing. It's not unlike some other topics that we currently have that are almost becoming taboo in this country, and that's unfortunate because, like I said, for the most part, the cycling community is warm, inviting, and welcoming because we've all been where that new person was. We've all been where that middle of the road Cat 4, Cat 3 racer has been. That person that's doing it for fitness, that person that's doing it as a hobby, as a person that's doing it as a lifestyle. And for part of my professional career in the corporate world, I actually worked to help build out a business model that focused on the active lifestyles communities. That's what we called it. And we had some great partnerships where I got to experience the vibrant nature of the running community, the absolutely warm, welcoming, and inviting community of triathlon, whether that's the USA Triathlon, shorter distances, or the Ironman, much longer distances. Those two branches of the active lifestyles communities seem to have a better entry model than the cycling community, and I hope that some of my videos will, and not just my videos, but some of my experiences, the experience of others that are out there promoting cycling as a positive cultural engagement, right? Like that there's more to it than that riding a bicycle is, one, good for your health, but it's also great for your social components. And if you like people, if you enjoy the exercise with people, if you enjoy pushing your own self boundaries, like, the cycling community is a really good opportunity for that. So those are the extent of my notes. So please don't hesitate to comment and provide feedback on what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, because again, that fail forward model is the best way for self-improvement, and I would really appreciate being able to build this out into something that is less about me and more about the community that I'm a member of. So thanks for watching up to this point. More to come. Cheers.